Hi, Samantha. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Shakaya, and I work with Generation 180. And I'm here to learn a little bit more about ChargerHelp. So let's kick it off. With Generation 180, we are really big fans of your organization, but there might be some of us who are unfamiliar with the organization. So I'm wondering if you can tell me a little bit more about ChargerHelp and your role directly with the organization.
Thank you, Shakaya, and it is a pleasure to be here with you today. ChargerHelp is a technology company that enables technicians to diagnose and repair and maintain electric vehicle charging stations. We're supporting the repair and resolution of the hardware and software for level 2 and DC fast chargers. We're helping increase the reliability of the charging stations so that the EV driver has confidence in the charging infrastructure and can have a seamless charging experience. And also we're providing the support in the workforce development of the maintenance technician development in low-income communities. And within the government relations role, which I represent ChargerHelp, I am able to provide different perspectives and best practices in keeping the infrastructure operable and ensuring that when local, state, and federal government is creating different policies and programs, that they put equity in the forefront of those efforts.
Wonderful, wonderful, especially around that infrastructure. Because as individuals make that transition to EVs, we want them to be more comfortable in the community as they learn how to charge their electric vehicles. So I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about the origin story of ChargerHelp, right? So why did it start in you all's mission?
Yeah, so we've definitely come a long way since the company was founded. ChargerHelp started in early 2020, so right before the pandemic. Camille Terry and Yvette Ellis are co-founders of ChargerHelp, and they set out on a mission to create a company with strong core values based on equity and inclusion. Camille, our CEO, worked on a software company, our first software company, where she led multiple EV charging deployment projects, which gave her insight into the EV industry, and partner with Yvette, our co-founder and chief workforce officer, who has 20 years of workforce development, recruitment, training, and placement experience through the Department of Labor's Job Corps system. And they both set out on this venture to create an opportunity for local individuals to participate in the clean tech industry. The company has grown now, where we have manufacturers, established charging companies, utilities, fleet operators, and even municipalities as customers.
Oh, wonderful. So for individuals outside of organizations that work on clean energy, what's the best thing you would want someone to know about ChargerHelp?
Well, Shakaya, there's so many things that I could mention, but to give you some insight, I want to highlight our field service technicians. We have the best technicians working for ChargerHelp and all throughout the US, working through various weather conditions and environments. They're always communicating with each other and giving them each other insights and feedback on what they're working on. So the support that they have for one another is amazing to hear and see as they may be working on the same issue across the country. And when they have an opportunity to snap a photo of their working location for the day and share it with the team, it becomes worthwhile with all the work that we're doing externally. And so our technicians are helping improve the reliability of the charging stations and supporting the industry and creating those sustainable standards.
Great, great. So what's something we might can expect from ChargerHelp within the next year, or some fun plans you guys have in the works?
So we're very thrilled that we're seeing major changes on the federal level with the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act and other bills that will support the manufacturing of parts here in the US. The bipartisan infrastructure bill, and the recently released final rule for the NEVI formula program. We're excited to see that minimum standards were developed to ensure the long-term reliability of charging stations along federal highways. We will continue to work with states and utilities to ensure that best practices are adopted. Our technicians are doing an amazing job in capturing data to help solve those issues. So we'll also continue to support in the workforce development and training for local folks. We recently announced a partnership with SAE International's Sustainable Mobility Solutions to help the training and the credentialing for those existing skill sets.
Wonderful, fun things. So kind of want to touch on that vocational training component a little bit more, and wondering if you can share one of your favorite success stories just around teaching individuals? I know you talked about the technicians, those skill sets. So is there a story you want to share?
Yeah, so partnerships are very important at ChargerHelp. And what we see as a continued success to private charging companies is connecting with local workforce development organizations to establish accessibility to training and an equitable pathway for disadvantaged communities to participate in the clean tech industry. So just last year, in partnership with LACY, the Los Angeles Clean Tech Incubator, and Tritium Charging, we hosted the first all-women EV charging maintenance technician cohort in Los Angeles. I know it's a mouthful, but it's a very amazing workforce development training that we had. And this was because women were able to learn about an industry that is predominantly male. And, they learned about a completely new industry, how to repair the charging stations. They were able to tour the Tritium facility and also learn on other skill sets that they could reapply in other parts of the industry. So like administrative support and project management.
Great, great. So what would you say are your hopes about our clean energy future, either personally or professionally?
Yeah, I would say that the commitment that states are making to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, the transportation sector is one of the largest CO2 emitters. So but we have seen many states issue executive orders to address climate change and to allocate resources. And with the electric vehicle supporting infrastructure, legislators are focusing more on equitable access to reliable chargers and not just the deployment of the chargers. So knowing that we have states moving towards these goals and that we can breathe cleaner air every day makes it all worth it.
I agree. Okay, so thank you so much, Samantha, for coming to hang out with me today and answering some questions. I have one last fun fire question for you. And it's, do you drive an electric car?
Shakaya, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't currently, but definitely working in the clean tech industry and being more conscious about the impact that I make has shifted the decision. So whenever I travel or take a vacation, I definitely am renting and test driving different models of electric vehicles, and it is honestly a great experience.
Wonderful. Well, as you shop around and test drive, Generation 180 does have a Going Electric pledge. So if you feel excited enough, I encourage that you sign it. And it's just you pledging to go electric next month, next year, 5 years.
Awesome. Will do.
All
Thank
right.
you, Shakaya.
Thank you.